All right, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. This is kind of a newer format. I was invited to a randoms tournament by my good friend Soulsilverblue, as well as somebody named RNGTIME, and I'm super excited about it. They're part of a really cool team called LEM. So they are going in. They host a lot of these little fun tournaments, and they asked me to be a part of it, so I'm really grateful to them. But we're going to jump right into it. This was my very first debut game, if you will. Now, if you guys know, as I've told you in the past, I'm not good at PvP. So there were a few bumpy moments. However, I personally am looking to improve. So during these fights, if you guys see something that I should have done or that I did incorrectly, please let me know, as I am striving to improve. As you can see, it is random, so we don't get to choose our leads. I did get lucky with the type advantage here. Leading with Magnezone, and he is forced to lead with Dodrio. So I go ahead and just throw a Thunderbolt, but he does outspeed with the Jump Kick, which almost takes me out. I do believe I had Sturdy, so it wouldn't have been too big of a deal. He gets OHKO'd by the Thunderbolt, and that is the first take of the game. Having an OHKO, I was pretty excited about that. He sent out Golem. I was a little fearful here. I do remember just going for Hidden Power Fire. My thought process for this was just break the Sturdy for the next Pokemon to sweep. I'm pretty sure Golem only gets Sturdy. I could be wrong on that, but again, this is one of my first times doing PvP, so I guess we'll see. Honestly, don't really know what I'm doing here. Okay, yeah, so we do end up going with the Hidden Power Fire after a lot of decisions. My Custap Berry or whatever makes me go first. I think I would have outsped anyways. It's not going to do nearly like any damage, but again, it was mainly just to break that Sturdy. Magnezone goes down to a Fire Punch, and I believe we switch into Dugtrio here. Let's see what we end up doing. I'm checking out his moves. I see he has Reversal and Earthquake, two moves that are super effective against Golem. He also, Dugtrio is a very quick Pokemon, so I do remember thinking that speed would be king here. I did end up throwing Earthquake at Golem, expecting it to OHKO, which we will see in just a second. So yeah, that Earthquake does go off. It does not take Golem out. Honestly, I was not giving Golem the credit he deserved. I honestly don't know why he Fire Punched there. I assume maybe he's either Choice Banded or something, but anyways, I just threw another Earthquake at him expecting the same thing. We outspeed and we take Golem down. So now I'm sitting pretty. It is currently 2 KOs to 1, so we have some space. He does send out Beedrill, and this was kind of a funny moment. I was remembering, or I confused Beedrill's moveset with Butterfree. I was thinking that he was going to either hit me with the Psychic or some kind of big damaging move. I also thought Beedrill got Levitate, which oddly enough he does not, so that's something that I learned today. I thought Beedrill was a flying type. Turns out he's Poison and Bug, so I just threw another Earthquake into him. I do die to X-Scissor here. However, the Earthquake does take a good amount of his health out. And you can see that Beedrill is holding a Life Orb, which also took a little bit more chip damage. So I'm sitting pretty. I check out Parasect and a few other Pokemon. Ultimately, I end up going with Weezing, just because Weezing has a pretty diverse moveset, at least this random set that I got. He has Flamethrower, Thunderbolt. It's more of like an offensive Weezing, which I thought was really interesting. He even has this little item called the Expert Belt, which you'll see in a bit. It basically powers up moves that are super effective, just to give Weezing a bit more potency since he's mostly a defensive build. I got really lucky with the switch. I think he was expecting a Toxic or something, but the Flamethrower ended up doing a lot of damage to Sneasel and getting the burn, meaning that Sneasel's attacks would not nearly do as much damage to me. As you can see there, it did nothing. Another quick Flamethrower, and Sneasel is out of there because of that burn chip damage. This game honestly went really well, in my opinion. I think I had some good plays. Here is where it might get questionable. I remember Sudowoodo is a rock type, so I threw Thunderbolt in there to try and get paralysis, just because none of my switch-ins would have really been amazing. I know I had like Parasect and stuff, but I wanted to make use of Weezing's bulk here, since I knew Sudowoodo was just going to throw physical attacks at me. I knew Weezing could eat them, so I kind of just, we did a little back and forth dance here. See, right there is where I discovered I had the Expert Belt, and I was really confused why I didn't have Black Sludge, but, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Sudowoodo does just keep throwing Sucker Punches at us. I do remember, I think I crit here. Yeah. We get the crit off. However, unfortunately, I do believe we end up dying, or do we end up... Yeah, we end up switching to Hitmonlee here, expecting the Sucker Punch, thinking I could just avoid the damage all around. But he ended up head smashing and missing anyways, so we got kind of lucky there. Here I just used Mach Punch because it's guaranteed to go first, so I was pretty stoked on that. Went and took out Sudowoodo. He actually sends out Hitmonchan, which I thought was pretty cool. It's kind of a little rival face-off, which one's better, Hitmonlee versus Hitmonchan. I've always preferred Hitmonlee, and as you can see, one high jump kick from Hitmonlee sweeps him off the field. So that was kind of a fun little moment for me. But now it's just back to that Beedrill as the final Pokemon, and I'm sitting in a really good spot having 4 Pokemon to his 1. I think all of them have moves that would be super effective against Beedrill as well. He goes and he Brick Breaks here. It does take Hitmonlee down, but a simple swap into Mawile here, and honestly, it's just GG's at this point. I do believe Mawile's set here was pretty aggressive, but I just went for the Fire Blast, kind of a flex at the end of the battle, but I thought it was kind of funny. Mawile's back sprite is really cool, by the way, too, how she's like looking at you while attacking. I think that's a cool touch, but let me know what you guys thought. That was my first real kind of attempt on this battle, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. More battles to come soon, and thanks for watching.